Right, so we just did a little book haul video, and now I'm going to do a review. That was weird. I don't know why I decided to turn around and grab them after I'd started talking. So these are books that I've read recently after I went through the list about a month ago, just like a month ago, and it was like 10 books that I had to talk about. I didn't have to, did it because I wanted to. So I read Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, and I remember when the film for this came out, and I was like early teens, I think, or maybe I was a bit younger. I can't remember when it came out exactly, but I remember it coming out, and I didn't watch it for some reason. I avoided it, and I didn't want to watch it. And I think it's because it looked like it didn't look cool to me, and I wasn't interested in it. I think it would seem like kind of kiddish, and it seemed just like I just avoided it, and I didn't watch it. Maybe it seemed like it was too young for me at the time. I thought that I was probably getting older and cooler than I was. But I'm glad I didn't watch it because I got to read it with like no other things in my mind. I can remember like the kid who's now an adult of Ender, like the actor, sorry. But you know, I didn't really see anyone. I didn't see Harrison Ford in the role of I actually don't know who he plays, so it's a bit confusing. I couldn't even try to imagine him, but I really loved this. I really thought it was fantastic, and it was a lot more up my alley than I thought it would be, and I just didn't really want to put it down. I just find it so readable, and it's also written like the prose, or you know, like the flowery kind of writing stuff is really good at different points throughout the book, but it's also just like I thought it was really well plotted and paced. It's over like 10 years or whatever of his childhood. It never felt too slow or too rushed in any points. It like really goes through the story really well, and it's just super interesting, even though you know you read the back, or you know what happens. It's been like a month since I read it now, but like you know you're told early on what's gonna happen. Like there's the plot is like following a plan, and it jumps back and forth to the people like orchestrating the plan, and you're going through and you're anticipating it, and Ender like is anticipating where he's going, and like, but then there's surprises, and the end comes, and there's like I didn't see the end coming, even though maybe I should have. Maybe someone else would, or like, but I just thought it was like fantastic, and I was really happy about the way it plays out, even though it's it's definitely like I can see why it's, you know, it will flaunt its award wins. And this, I love these tour. This is a tour, isn't it? I love these tour copies. I'm looking forward to reading the next ones in the series and see like where it goes from there. But I just, really enjoyed the characters and everything, all of the side characters and these little dramas, and like the progression of how the story is gonna work, and like where it keeps changing, and there's these time jumps and different things are changing for him, and it becomes really upsetting. It's like the point immediately you know, and you're described that like the point is like that this is a horrible setup and scenario and really upsetting, but then you're like wrapped up in it, and the whole book is about like playing a game, and like everything's a game, and you're like practicing, so you're kind of made to enjoy it. And then like as it goes on, as he's growing up, the game gets more real and less like a game, as it would, and it gets harder. It just makes so much sense when you read it. Just like it seems so simple and so like well thought out, and then you go through to the end of it and it's, you know, just like rounds itself off perfectly. A brilliant book. And then I read Dean Koontz, just like a fairly random Dean Koontz to pick and to read, just because I found it and I bought it. These covers are great, and there's all the other ones that you can get. I think I have another one of these in this format, but like, if I see these, I'll buy it, definitely. First I didn't really like it, and now I've seen more and more. Some of the paintings are kind of horrible. They're all really like, it's bizarre to me that they were super happy when they did all of these, going, oh, there's a house, there's a house, there's a house, there's a house. Oh, these are buildings. There's a guy behind it, that's fine. There's a house, there's a house. Everything's just like a house or a building. The names are super simple. There's a car, there's a door, there's a church, there's a house, there's a gas station, petrol station. There's a whirly rig, merry-go-round. There's a house, there's like a dock building. Just buildings. And these kind of like abstract names. Why was he giving these names to his books? Night Chills, Shattered, Lightning, Midnight. I don't really know which ones are super good or not. My dad likes Dean Koontz, but I don't know. I think he's read more of the like thrillers of the 90s, and this is one of the sort of, you know, he's slightly earlier. It's the late 70s horror, but they're kind of like not really scary. It is also just kind of like a thriller. Really just fun and readable. This murderous killers and a psychic, and yeah, just I don't know, it's just so simple. But then it's got this really bizarre like thing with the killers, that there are they're like they've been reading Nietzsche, and what else? They was reading Friedrich Nietzsche, and they've been like studying these weird you know, and they've got this weird philosophy. It's kind of like, they're like sexist, but they want to be like superhuman. It's just a really strange, it's like, it's a super simple horror, and then there's just like something really strange going on in the background of it, to like describe it, not to describe it, to like, yeah, I don't know, I'll definitely pick up more Dean Koontz and read a few more, if they're that fun and pulpy. And then I started Philip Jose Farmer, the first Philip Jose Farmer I've read, To Your Scattered Bodies Go, the first book of the Riverworld saga, the magnificent Riverworld saga. I absolutely love this, and I liked it so much that I went straight through to the Fabulous Riverboat, the second book in the magnificent Riverworld saga. On here it says the second fascinating novel in the Riverworld series. Is it saga or a series? We don't know. But how did this one end? Yeah. Have I forgotten them already? Maybe slightly. It's just such a great concept. It's so simple, but so like, it's so monumental. If you don't know the concept, everybody who has ever died on Earth, unless you're a child under the age of like 4 or 5 or something, wakes up in this place, as on a planet, all at the same time, wakes up in these bodies where all of they're their bodies, but as they were when they were like 25 or something. No hair. The kids wake up in like kids' bodies up until I don't know which age. It doesn't really describe that. And then they grow up. Everyone else is about 25. Everybody that's ever died on Earth, all at the same time. Billions of people. This was written in like, this is set in like, it's written like the 70s or something. But the end of the world is in like the year 2000 or something. We find out. Doesn't matter if that's a spoiler. Maybe it does. But it's it's like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Everyone's died, and I think I'm right in thinking it's like just after they've died. It's like if you went to heaven, this would be like what heaven is. So you die and you wake up on the river. But everyone that's ever died is waking up for the first time at the same time, as if they just died. So if you died in the prehistoric age, you die and you wake up. And someone that died in the year 2000 wakes up at the same time. Everyone is all along this river. It's like a mile across, and then there's like a mile or so of like grassland, and then there's like a mile or so of woodland, and then there's these mountains, and it just goes sort of like straight up, impassable on either side of the river. But then the distances change at certain points down it. The whole planet, all it is this river. It like describes what's going on. Obviously it takes so long to describe this, and like it's one of these books where there's this big concept, and like the character you're following or the characters you're following are thrown into this scenario where they're like, okay, I need to figure out what's going on. So like the first, maybe not the first half, but the first big portion of the book is just like, what's going on here? Then they know what's going on, and they're like, so what do we do? And then it goes on from there. But obviously you've got anybody, history is like, well, it's random people, and then there's like people that are like famous or well known, so you're going to have like everyone ever. And it follows this character who's a real guy, Richard Francis Burton, who translated the Arabian Nights, and he was an explorer, and I didn't really know anything about him, and I had to like Google it. And then Alice Hargreaves is the woman who was the model for the character Alice in Wonderland. She's in it, and then there's a bunch of other people that are in it, and there's like, you know, it goes on from there, and it's just so much fun. It's just so good, and it doesn't do anything too cheesy. It doesn't like, you're not immediately faced with Hitler and you're going, oh, you know, or the Queen of England or the King of England. It's not too much like that. And he doesn't do any like celebrities of the 70s, or he doesn't do anything like that. I suppose celebrity culture wasn't as big as a thing. The Beatles are not in it. Maybe they come in later, I don't know. The second book follows Sam Clemens, who was Mark Twain, and he becomes the main character. So you're just following these are like, so the idea is these are like great, they had a big impact in the world somehow, and like, you know, I don't know why Philip Jose Farmer's picking these kind of characters. It must be like people that he's interested in. And there's a group that have like some important role to play in this world. This world has like been built by aliens, some sort of alien life form, and they don't know who they are, what they're doing. But you basically just live day to day on this world. There's no other animals or anything. They have these cylinders, which is hard to describe. Everyone has one, and multiple times a day you put them on these things, these mushrooms of stone, and they get filled with food and booze and cigarettes and stuff, and people just, you know, you just chill out and enjoy your life. But obviously the human race doesn't do that, and people build states and countries and go to war, and they're trying to travel up the river. Both of these characters both have the idea to travel up the river, and they're going to come together in the next book, and they're going to, you're going to bring all of these like main characters. So it's kind of like, what I think is interesting, kind of like a multiverse story, but it's not. It's just like the world as like a multiverse, different time periods brought together. It's just so good. Yeah. It obviously, with something like this, you could feel like there's so much missing, and you're like, oh, what is this person doing? What is this person doing? Like, what's going on over here? But the point is, like, it's incomprehensible, the scale. You can die in this world and you get brought back to life like the next day or something, but somewhere else randomly along the river. So people die and get killed and have to relocate their whole lives to different places. So they're constantly like losing people. And one of the main points is like the characters trying to find their wives that they had on Earth. Like, no one has any, everyone's making new friends because you're never going to see your friends ever again. So it's like you've gone to heaven, but it's like having to face the actual scale of heaven is obviously going to be awful, daunting. And why would heaven be a good place to go if everyone, or most people, but this is like impartial heaven, everyone is there. It's brilliant, and I love it, and I'm going to read the next 3. I think there's 3 more, maybe more. Yeah, and that's me. 4 books reviewed, sort of, not really reviewed, just whether or not I like them. I like them all. All right, I've gone mad.